Hey, welcome back to CITAM Church Online, and today we'll be talking about relationships and being in a situation where you are in love with two people. It could be two ladies, it could be two men, and you have to make a decision on which relationship to go forward with. What to do?
Sana
sana inakuanga ni yes. But it's true.
It's true.
But what is your take on it?
First, I think it's comes down to the basic. Define love. What is love?
1 Corinthians 13.
Yeah. What is love? Because to be very, very honest, we're married. Amani and I.
Yeah.
Massive soon to be. Cindy?
Yes.
Very soon. I don't know which date, but very. unless I can prophesy, unless the Lord reveals.
Prophesy. You will be
Yes,
soon.
yes. So it's just one of those things that even if you are committed to somebody, you will still see other people. Because we live in this environment where you have a diverse, let me say, plethora of strengths and achievements and attraction out there that you get to see stuff as you walk around, as you live. So at the end of it all, bottom line is, how do you define what love is?
Let me add to that. I want to bring an opposite perspective, because when we're saying if our guiding principle is the Bible, and it's 1 Corinthians 13, love is kind, love is patient, love is, love doesn't, there's a word I'm looking for, love does not think bad of the other person. So ideally, I think for me, if we use that, then we're going to excuse then the aspect that I can actually love two people and it's okay. Am I making sense? Because then love is, I love two people, so what's a big deal? Love is 1 Corinthians 13. Because 1 Corinthians 13 doesn't say, do not love two people. It just says love is kind, love is,
The situation here is
Yes.
you're probably a man.
Yeah.
And you're looking to settle down, and you find that you're in love with two women. There's maybe let's be honest, men don't exclusively date one woman. Let's be honest, ideally the ideal situation is to think that he's only dating you.
Watch out.
We shall return to it.
Yeah. But he's a hunter.
Yes.
And when he's looking to settle down, he will look for the best option.
Yeah.
And he will date other people, even Christian men. He won't have to decide the girl I saw on Sunday is the only girl I'll go for tea with. No. He will go for tea with Jane, he will go for tea with Melissa, and he'll decide between both of them who he would prefer. But what if he's going for tea with Melissa and Jane and discovers, oh my goodness, I actually like Melissa and I like Jane.
Yeah.
And now he has to choose. Otherwise there'll be a problem. Yeah.
Maybe. And I suspect in such situations, there's a very thin line between love and lust.
And last, good.
Because when you look at it in this manner, and when you get the biblical definition about love is ideally commitment. That's what it's all about. When you read 1 Corinthians chapter 13, even in the book of Solomon, by the way, because somebody might easily say, well, love is all about emotions and feelings and what have you. This is what Songs of Solomon says, chapter 8, verse 6. Place me like a seal over your heart, like a seal on your arm. This brother has lines, isn't it? Place me like a seal
That's how
over
they
your
ended
heart,
up with many wives.
like a seal on your arm. In other words,
Yeah.
this gentleman is simply saying, pledge that you'll give me everything that is of you. Your heart, your strength. Arm represents strength. So every part of you, pledge it to me. So when you look at the aspect of love, it has to do with commitment. Now, Mercy said earlier on that 1 Corinthians doesn't talk about whether it's one person or two people. But again, it's important for us to realize that Scripture interprets Scripture. So you look at other parts in Scripture that talks about commitment in terms of husband and wife relationship. it's one person.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying
it's one person.
we need to then define what kind of love we're talking about.
Yes.
Because there's the filial love, and then there's tragio, and of course the erotic kind of love.
Yes, yes.
So it was important to define what love are we talking about. Yeah, because love blanket is like I love everyone.
Oh,
I love all dudes.
Yeah,
you
very
know?
true, very true.
Yeah.
If it's the brotherly love,
Yes, you know.
the brotherly love, sister love, that's
Yes.
okay.
No, we're talking about dating, commitment, life, marriage type of love. Exclusive type of love.
I like that.
Monogamy type of love.
Okay.
That's the kind of love we're talking about.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
And if that's the question, then ideally, it's not possible for you to have two persons. It's not possible for you to have two persons because you can only be committed to one individual. You see?
Yeah.
So this man has to make the decision. He has to decide. Again, I probably go to the example of Jane and Melissa.
Yes.
You've dated, you've gone for maybe a coffee date or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, how many, with Melissa and also Jane, and you're making your decision on, okay, I'm now going to exclusively court Melissa or Jane, you know, in view of marriage, you know, I'm actually going to settle down with one of this. But you find yourself conflicted. You actually love them both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me give a
But
scenario. Sorry. Okay.
But I like what you've said.
Yeah.
That love is commitment.
Yeah.
It's about pledging that you're going to commit to this person.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So if that is what it is,
Yeah.
then you need to decide who you are ready to commit to, who you're ready to pledge to between both of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a choice.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
You have to make a deliberate one, and you decide this is the path or the direction I'm going to take. When you look at those two individuals, you realize they no one is perfect.
Sure.
In fact,
Yeah.
now the problem, one of our problems is this, is that you're busy focusing on the strengths
And not
and
the cons.
and the weaknesses. So you look at this person, okay, you say, okay, what are your pros and cons? Okay, then you look at this other person, then you're thinking, all right, it would be so amazing if I had your strengths and your strengths
And put them together.
combined together.
That's what goes through dudes' heads.
Okay.
Na
Yeah.
mnakuanga na
Amazing.
kazi.
I mean, that blend will be amazing.
Yeah.
But you see,
Yeah.
it just doesn't happen. Okay, so when you settle on somebody, you're receiving them as a package with their strengths
Yeah.
and their
weaknesses. Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
going to
You were
ask a
saying
question to Pastor Becher, being a dude. Is there a scenario where a guy can find two ladies who have the similar qualities? Everything is similar. Yes.
It's difficult to have two people with the same quality. Time tells. If you take them out for dates and hang out where they hang out, and that is very, very important. By the way, I know there are people who say, I met this person, I'd never seen them, and there was just some spark, and I know people who've done that, and they've gone all the way, gotten married, and they're married today.
Yeah.
So it's not cast on stone. There's no silver bullet in terms of how you end up in marriage. But the thing is, the ideal aspect is where you evaluate and you get to see this person in the environment without strings attached.
I like
So
that.
there you will get to
Yeah.
see and to notice, some trends and some qualities in them. The way they talk, how do they handle themselves under pressure? How do they handle other people? Their peers, their supervisors, the people below them. How do they address others, even when things are not going the right way? And that you can actually be able to learn a lot about them. So with time, definitely the lines will be drawn.
Just to take home, if you're conflicted in choosing two people, focus on the strengths, because everybody has weaknesses. Do not focus on the weaknesses, focus on the strengths, appreciate the other person, make your decision based on the strengths, because hey, if you're looking at one person, they're looking at you too.
Yeah.
So appreciate them and give. We'll see you next time. This is CITAM Church Online.